Hey guys, Eddie Case here on our latest job. Just started this today. It's January 31st, 2017. We're right outside Mechanicsburg, PA, where we do a lot of our basement remodeling. And we're in the basement this morning. It's about, I'm going to say 1,000 square feet of unfinished space. Brought the camera down as usual to walk you around, show you the empty basement, talk about some of the obstacles, and to talk about what we're going to be doing down here for these homeowners. This basement's got a lot of cool zones. It's going to have a really nice bar. It's going to have a full bathroom. It's got a little play area room, a home theater area. It's not huge, and we're not keeping any of it as unfinished space. We're finishing it all. So this homeowner's got a large garage. They have other ways to store their stuff. It does have a crawl space back there, which I'm going to give them access to. So, and it's a very large crawl space. So they're going to put a lot of their seasonal stuff up in the crawl space. So let me get the camera off the tripod. Let's take a walk around. I've already laid the job out completely yesterday with my my brother John. We came down and we used our little floor plan that I did on the computer, like I do on every job. We create the job on the computer. We make a little floor plan. We come down first day, and we take our chalk line and our tape measure, we go around and we snap every line for every room, for every location that's going to be finished on the floor, and then we plumb our lines up to the ceiling and snap our ceiling lines. But let's talk about the obstacles down here right now and how we're going to go around it, and I'll even show you some of the lines that we actually have physically snapped on the floor. All right, the first obstacles that we're going to talk about here, we have a group of obstacles right here. We got a panel box. It looks like we got an alarm system up there. All kinds of stuff here for water purification. All that stuff there we're going to be putting in one unfinished utility closet that's going to be right beside the bar. The area right over there where you see my light, from that window over across to that utility closet, is all going to be bar. All right, working our way over here. We got the staircase coming straight down on this project. When you get to the bottom of the stairs, there's going to be a door right here, and you can see right down there on the floor, I've actually a 2-foot 4-inch door going in there. You can see I've drawn it on the floor. That right down there is actually a 5-foot shower laid out on the floor already. So we're going into a bathroom here. It's going to be a full bathroom with a 5-foot shower, a toilet, and a 30-inch vanity. And then we're going to be working our way back into a play area, which is going to be a playroom for the homeowner's children. And this will just be an open finished room in here. And we're going to have a closet underneath the stairs that we're going to enter right over here. You can see I got a closet laid out on the floor there with a 24-inch door going in. And then we're going to have to take some of these studs out of the wall right there. And we're going to have a door that's going to come in underneath the stairs into this playroom from the other side of the basement. All right, so let's walk underneath the stairs and back out the other side. Now this big area over here is going to be the family room. We're going to have a big screen TV on that wall over there. And to my left there, we've got the water heater and the furnace. And what we're going to do there is we're just going to put all that stuff there the whole way across into that corner, right over to there to the radon pipe coming up out of the floor. All that over there is going to be utility again, and that'll be in an unfinished closet. Now there's that crawl space I was talking about. All right, up in there. Now that's going to just be accessible through the closet that we're going to build. That's going to hold the furnace and the water heater. You'll be able to open up the door, go into that unfinished space, and climb up in there. All right, that'll all be accessible from inside an unfinished utility area. We're going to have some fancy soffits built over top of our bar area that are going to tie into these lower ceilings, so we're going to have to build underneath this ductwork up here. You can see we've got a duct trunk here, and then we got about 4 feet of space where it goes back up, and then we got a 3-inch sewage line and a big steel beam. That's all going to be put in a lower ceiling up there that we call soffits. And I'm going to show you what the framing skeleton looks like and how we went around all these obstacles in the next video. This is going to be a 3-part video. The first part is what you're seeing now, the unfinished basement, no construction started yet. The next video is going to be how we framed around everything. When we're done framing, I'm going to bring the camera back down. We're going to do part 2, which is going to be how we framed it. And then part 3, when the job's 100% completed, I'm gonna bring the camera back down and show you the finished product. So that'll give you a true before, during, and after of this project. Okay, so let's just start right here at the stairway. And you can see we've got the stairway angled up to the 5th step. We are gonna be wrapping that pole that's right there in some 2x8 this morning. And I'll show you that in our next video, what that looks like. But we have to hide that pole, and because it's right at the base of the stairs, we're just going to turn it into a newel post that's going to receive the handrail and run all the way up to the rosette there. Okay, so first let's take a look at that pole at the bottom of the step. As you recall, at the beginning we had a steel column right at the base of the stairs that we had to work around. We kind of turned that into our newel post. You can see here we've got the rosette just attached to it, the steel pole's inside there. We did open up that stairway wall to the, I believe, the 6th step, and we just sandwiched that new oak handrail and those spindles between the wall we opened and the column that we wrapped. So that's how that column turned out. You can see we just ran the base trim around it, boxed it out, painted it the same color as the wall. Okay, so if you have a pole like that at the base of your steps, there's a real good solution for you. Box it out, and if you open up your stairway, you can use the boxed out column to serve as your newel post to receive the bottom of your handrail. So that was obstacle number 1 finished off there, the steel support column at the base of the steps. Now something cool that we did here is we actually framed underneath the steps. All right, we're going to go right underneath the steps, and you can see there's a room in the background there. We can walk right underneath the steps. We framed a little ceiling. There was a little bit of an angle to it right there. You can see we had to frame an angle. And that brings us under the steps. We're going to have a door right there, entering a room. We'll walk into that room now, and this is going to be a playroom here. Okay, obstacle number 2 was that opening that we made behind the staircase. You see how that turned out there. We ran the flooring right in underneath. You can still see a little bit of the angle of the stairway there because we were still a little bit underneath the stairs. And that door just goes back into our office space back here. All right, so we snuck in behind the stairway. We needed a second way into this office. And we created it by coming in underneath the staircase. In here we've got a high ceiling out in the middle, and then it drops down over there nice and clean from wall to wall. We dropped it down. Spin around here. And then we had that little section of lower soffit on the other side in this playroom. And we got this nice big high section in the middle with a low section over here and a little bit of a low section over there, which when you're done architecturally really looks good. Almost looks like a tray ceiling when you're done. Okay, obstacle number 3 were those lower sections of ductwork back here in the office. And you can see we've got a lower section of ceiling that comes down and goes back on this side. And if I spin the camera around the ceiling here, back on the other side where we come in the door, there was another section of duct trunk there. So basically we have a lower section over here and a lower section over here, and we kept the section in the center full height. All right, so we kind of created like a little tray effect up here by going high in the middle and low on both sides. All right, so obstacle number 3 was the ductwork in the office. We just hit them in lower soffits. Now coming out through the back door here from this playroom, we enter into the bathroom. We have 2 ways into this bathroom. We have a door right there coming in from what's going to be the bar area, and we've got the door from this playroom going in there. So we have 2 ways into the bathroom. We're going to have a 30-inch vanity right here. We're going to have a standard toilet right here, and right there where that bag of insulation is resting, we've got a 5-foot shower. Now we lowered the whole ceiling in this bathroom. As you can see, this framing up there, we dropped the ceiling in this whole bathroom a foot. And we did that to hide that ductwork up there, and also so we'd have space up there in the ceiling for our exhaust fan, for our light fan combo. Actually, it's got a light in it and a fan, and all the ducting that's going to have to be done for that fan. Got a 4-inch duct that comes off that we have to take outside for the bathroom exhaust. We're also going to have pipes up in there. We needed some space for pipes. That's going to be coming up out of our sewage ejector pit over here, right beside us. So you can lower the ceiling in your bathroom to get all of your mechanicals up in there if you have the height. Now keep in mind that this basement has a 9-foot ceiling. So by losing a foot in the bathroom, we still squeaked out an 8-foot high ceiling. If you've only got 8 feet in your basement or a little bit less and you take a foot, you're really going to lower the ceiling a lot. So you may just want to go up between the floor joists with your fan and whatever else you have to run, which is what we do most of the time. I'm just showing you a different way to frame your basement ceiling if you have a lot of stuff that's going to go above it. Okay, and design element number 5 was we wanted to have 2 entrances into the bathroom. One from the office space that we built in the back corner of the basement. And if we walk right through the bathroom here, we can walk right out the other side and right out into the bar area, out into the other living space out here. All right, so whenever we have an adjoining room to our bathroom, we like to have a separate door into that bedroom or into that office from the bathroom, as well as the main entrance into the bathroom. We also lowered the ceiling in the bathroom to 8 feet, and I showed you how we framed that out because we had some ductwork that we had to get up in there and some pipes from our sewage ejector. So that's how our ceiling turned out here. It's a full 8-foot ceiling. So that's our bathroom with 2 entrances and our 8-foot lowered ceiling in the bathroom. It turned out really nice. Now out here, we had a huge soffit that ran from that end of the basement all the way down to the furnace, which you can see right down there is the furnace. And the duct trunk's coming up and over and into this soffit. We had all this ductwork up here, as you can see overhead here, ran the whole length of the basement. So we just lowered that whole section of the basement ceiling. You can see here we're at the high section, right up here, and we dropped down 11 inches and we ran that the whole way down to the other end of the basement, which gave us a nice high ceiling here in the center of the home theater area, and then a low section where we went underneath the ductwork. All right, we have a full 9-foot high ceiling here and about an 8-foot soffit ceiling over here. And we ran that the whole way down into what's going to be the bar area. You can see we also continued this lower soffit down and around and the whole way across the bar area, just so all this ceiling up in here was the same height as it is this lower section of ceiling coming down from the furnace. Comes down and turns, and we just rolled it right in there at the soffit height, so that the whole bar would be underneath the same height of ceiling. All right, that's part of our ceiling scape design. All right, the ceiling scape, all the stuff that's overhead. And basements have a heck of a lot of design work that you have to think about overhead, especially if you're doing drywall ceilings like my company does. We never do drop ceilings, so we're always looking up overhead, looking at all the obstacles and figuring out how we can build soffits tastefully, crisp, nice straight lines, so in the end it looks professional and clean. Okay, now obstacle number 6 was the main ductwork in the basement. Now the duct trunks, the feed trunk and the return trunks go up, and they go right up over top of this wall here. And they go right down the ceiling the whole way to the other end, right over top of the bar. So what we decided to do was just lower the entire section of the basement ceiling from the bar side. You can see it runs all the way down here to the bar side, and then all the way back down to the furnace. But beside it, because we didn't have any ductwork over here in the home theater area, we raised the ceiling back up in this whole area right here.
The ductwork drops down and goes all the way down to the bar area. And then we went back up full height to the floor joists here inside the home theater area. So we have a 9-foot ceiling in the theater area, and we drop down to an 8-foot soffit over here, hiding the ductwork. Now what we did for aesthetics is we took that soffit down and we turned it to the right. It comes down and turns to the right over there. You can see it turns back to the wall. We just lowered it over the whole top of the bar so it would look good behind the bar. Let's go down there and take a look at that. You can see we've got the lower ceiling that goes right over top of our bar. And then when we get out over here, you can see over there it goes up. When you come down the steps, you have full height. All right, so we have a higher ceiling right here at the base of the steps. Okay, a higher ceiling right here at the base of the stairs. And then we drop down and we turn and we bring that soffit straight across right over to this wall here. All right, so that kind of looks nice with the 90-degree angle, with the lower ceiling all the way over the bar area, and then running that main soffit the whole way down to the furnace wall. All right, so that was a design element that we thought long and hard about. We didn't have to turn the soffit to the right and go over top of the bar to the end there because there is no ductwork over there. But I think it looks better. It kind of balances out the bar. So that's the main soffit obstacle. We showed you from the beginning. We showed you the framing, and now you've seen the final product. And you can see right there that short wall that's standing there is 41 inches tall. That's going to be our bar wall for the front of our bar. We have a big bar on this job. This wall is built out of 2x8 for extra stability. A lot of guys will build these out of 2x4 or 2x6. I take it right up to a 2x8 to really make a solid wall, because this is what all of our cabinets are going to get mounted to back behind the bar here. This is all behind the bar right here. Between that bar wall and this wall right here, all this real estate right here is bar. We're going to have cabinets and refrigerators all over here, cabinets with refrigerators under them. Over here we're going to have nice wall cabinetry with granite on it. Up here we're going to have wall cabinets with a TV on this whole back wall here. So this is a fancy bar, a nice big, I think it's from this end of the bar all the way down to the end, it's like 11 feet long. A nice long top there. And if we walk in behind the bar here, up this end here, we're going to have a 33-inch cabinet with a sink in it right there at the end. So 2 refrigerators and a sink in this one. No dishwasher or ice makers in this one, but still it's going to be a really nice bar. And we'll show you what this looks like when it's finished in the after segment of this video. Okay, I did want to show you one more thing. We did build another really nice bar. I've shown you a bunch of L-shaped bars, even bars with 45-degree angles for the front bar area. But this particular bar is just a straight bar. And by a straight bar, I mean it goes from the outside corner here, where the chairs are, and goes straight across, right into a wall. All right, so this one dead ends into a wall. Other than that, it's pretty much like the other ones that you've seen me build. You walk in behind. We got the 1-foot deep wall cabinets in the back, which we made into our base cabinets. Put a nice slab of granite on top. Got our 1-foot upper cabinets in the back, our wall cabinets. We've got the lights inside the cabinets, inside the glass doors. The TV in between, which is always a nice look. And I remember showing you this when it was the before and the during. I told you we were going to have cabinets to the right and cabinets to the right and cabinets to the left. This was actually the bar wall that you saw me build that used to be here. It was an 11-foot 2x8 wall that was sitting right here. It's underneath this granite now, and it's all finished inside here. But that was our starting point. And then in between, we've got the 24-inch base cabinets on this side. And you can see we've got a wine refrigerator, or actually that's a beverage refrigerator here. Down a little bit further, we've got a nice wine refrigerator. That's a really nice looking bar sink, a nice gooseneck faucet. Everything's satin nickel. We got a shelf unit at the very end here for some of their glassware and whatever else they're going to put up there, decorations. and just a whole lot of counter space. From the wall right there all the way down to this end of the bar is 11 feet. So it's an 11-foot bar from the back wall all the way out to the front here. It's about 8 feet from the edge of the upper bar top here. And you can see we've got two elevations here. We've got the lower top at 36 inches, then we step up 6, and then we go out 18. And from here back to the wall is roughly 8 feet. And we've got 4 bar stools here. You could probably squeeze 5 in there easily. But there's our finished bar area. I think it turned out really nice. It's an ebony finished maple cabinet. And it's, again, we use craft made cabinetry, which is a middle of the road, really good solid wood face cabinet. Very affordable, but really looks dynamite when it's in, and the price is definitely right.
All right, and then the only other thing that we didn't show you is where we built that long closet where we hid the salt container and the water softening equipment, and we also had the panel box back here. All that was put inside an unfinished utility closet with a 2-foot door right there where we can enter and go back in there and get to all that mechanical stuff. So we just, you know, killed a couple birds with one stone there. We just decided to put it all in one big unfinished area back here, and then put a door to enter that.
And obstacle number 8 was the well equipment, the electrical panel, and the water meter. We decided to put that inside of the unfinished storage closet. You can see we just came through a door outside the bar. We've got about 4 inches of width here, and there's our panel box. All of our well equipment still back in here with plenty of room to service it. There's our salt tank. We've got good access to the main shutoff from the street for the water. We can still get to our clean out cap for our sewage lateral that goes right out to the public sewage in the street. Here's our sub panel we put in. We got our electrical panel in here. There's all of our alarm equipment and everything else, all still back in here, and it still looks like the day we started the job from this side of the wall. But we can just come out here, we can shut the door, and from the finished side, it just looks like any other door in the house going into an unfinished storage utility. You want to call it an unfinished utility room. In this case, it's a little bit bigger than a closet.
All right, and there's our steps coming down. With our little angled wall that we built here. All the way up here to the nose of the 6th step on this particular job. We went up 6 steps. All right, from the bottom we angled it up to the nose of the tread of the 6th step.
And obstacle number 9 is our stairway. Now, most steps coming down in the basements are rather ugly. They really were never meant to be stained or finished off too elaborately, but we did manage to squeak in a nice 6-step high banister railing, which turned out nice. We ran base trim right around the bottom and up the top of our stringers on both sides. You can see right there, it's our 5.5-inch base trim goes right up and turns and goes up to the door. And we've got the nice heavy-duty handrail coming down on the left, and our 6-step high banister rail system right here, right down to the base. And we wrapped that steel column that was at the bottom. There was a support column holding up the beam right at the base of our steps in a really bad spot, really. So we just boxed that out, and we used it as the receiving post for our handrail. We just got our rosette going right to it, and inside here is our 3-inch steel column that we showed you at the beginning of the video. So that's how we turned a rather ugly set of stairs coming down into a rather beautiful entrance into this client's new basement. All we have left to do here is the carpet coming down the stairs, and that's coming at the end of this week.
Our furnace and our water heater were put in another unfinished utility closet. going to be a big 6-foot door right there, double door to open up to get to all that stuff. And then down the line on that wall, a little further down, we have a 4-foot double door that we can open up to get up inside that crawl space back behind there. All right, so that's another way to get into a crawl space. Just put a big double door. If you build a double door to get to a crawl space, the wall that has the door in it has to be at least 3 feet away, even 3 or 4 feet away, even from the actual crawl space opening, so that you have enough room when you open the doors to go in there and climb up into the crawl space. You can't build this wall with the door in it right up against the wall that has the crawl space opening. You won't be able to get it up in there. You won't have enough height between the top of the door and the crawl space to get up in there, if that makes sense to you. So we have 2 doors going into an unfinished area to service the furnace, get access to the water heater, and also gain access to the crawl space. And we put that in one straight, clean wall right there.
Okay, so there's that finished wall that we talked about with the 2 big double doors. We got a 4-foot door on this side. We've got a 5-foot door on this side, and we hid a whole bunch of stuff away in there. It's all finished behind those doors. And let me just open up both sets of doors to show you what's in here. All right, there's our water heater and our furnace. We can get in there, fix that furnace, change that furnace completely, change the filter, do whatever we have to do to service it, work on the water heater, exchange the water heater. So that's all accessible inside that 5-foot double door. And over here inside the 4-foot set on the same wall, we wanted this door here so that we could get in and get up into our crawl space, where we have a ton of the homeowner stuff up there that we had to hide away during the project. It's still all up in there. So we can open up this double door. We even got a couch up in there. We can bring that couch back down. Whatever we have to get in there, we can get up inside there. And what we did is we just built a little set of steps so that the homeowners can step up there and climb inside there and do what they got to do in their crawl space. But that's all behind 2 double doors that we put there in that wall. Total access to everything, but when they're shut up, it really does look nice. It's a good looking wall. Really looks good. Now in between those 2 doors, we have one of our built-in bookcases. All right, we just build these out of birch. Picture frame them. The sides and the back are 3/4 birch. We make these shelves. You see our clips right there. We just drill them in there and drop in the shelves. And we have this one set up for stereo equipment. We got the HDMI cables and the speaker wires all coming into there. And the homeowner's going to use that for their gaming systems and their cable box and whatever else they're going to put in there. It's going to be already connected to the TV. We do have the in-wall speakers. We have the 2 front speakers that we put in for the homeowner. And in the rear, we did the round ceiling speakers in the back. We got the round speakers in the back. All right, and those cables from all those speakers are right here in our stereo rack. And since this stereo rack bordered the storage area where the furnace and crawl spaces were, we could just stick that through the wall right into the storage area. I'll show you what that bookcase looks like hanging through the wall in the back here. And there it is. We just built it right in there. It's just hanging right through inside the, taking up space in the unfinished area back here, instead of taking up space with a floor sitter unit out in the home theater area. The homeowners didn't want anything out here on the floor. They didn't want any stereo racks under the TV. They wanted it to be clean. They didn't want to lose any floor space, basically. So we opted for the built-in bookcase, which in this case is actually built-in stereo rack, and it's, I believe, 18 inches deep. So that was our final obstacle, how to get to the crawl space and have service room for our furnace and our water heater. We put everything inside, big double doors, and just hid them away in an unfinished storage area. All right, so there you have it. This is another one in the history books here. I hope you enjoyed the before, the during, and the after. I normally just do a before and an after. I don't normally have the middle segment with the framing. I hope that was beneficial and you got something out of that and it helped you put the whole picture together, seeing the empty basement, the framing, and then the finished drywall and everything all done. I enjoyed doing it for you. Again, I'm Eddie Case. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. I got a lot more good basement finishing videos coming your way. I'll see you in the next video.